Hi everyone, so welcome to a strong total body flow with me, Sinead Brophy of Go with the Flow Coaching. What we're going to do is we'll start in either a kneeling or seated position. You can also do these standing as well if that's more comfortable for you. But we're just going to get the neck and the shoulders and wrists warmed up. So we're going to start with neck cars first, controlled articular rotations. We're going to bring our chin down towards our chest. We're going to scoop the chin out along the left collarbone to look over that left shoulder, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Let's drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. And then we're going to reach that chin back up and around all the way over. Right ear down towards right shoulder. Let's look over that right shoulder. And then bringing the chin down along the collarbone back to the starting position and bringing that head up. Let's go back the way we came. Chin down towards the chest. Chin out along the right hand collarbone, looking over that right shoulder. Right ear down towards the right shoulder. We're going to bring the chin back up and around. Now be mindful of the back of the neck. If we're feeling any pinching, we just want to come out of that a little bit. So we want to feel a stretch on the opening side. We don't want to feel pinching on the closing side. And if we're doing that, we just make the circle a little bit smaller. We don't push through that pain. And back up. Let's do one more each direction. Chin down, chin out along the collarbone, ear down towards the shoulder, reaching back up and around, shoulders relaxed, chin up towards the ceiling, right ear down. Lovely. And let's look over. Bring the chin down. And then come back up. Let's go back the way we came. Chin goes down, out along the collarbone, right ear down towards right shoulder, relaxing the shoulders, reaching that chin back up and around, left ear down towards left shoulder. And looking over. Bringing that chin down. And then back up. We're going to go for some shoulder cars next. So shoulder car, you're going to get the right hand in a fist, clench that fist. Keep the shoulders relaxed. So we don't want to see any hiking, twisting, anything like this through the ribcage. Everything is nice and engaged. We're going to bring that arm across our chest. We're going to bring the bicep up towards our cheek, maybe by our ear. So again, it depends on how stiff you're feeling. We don't want to see this arm popping out, We don't want to see it hiking up, so keeping that shoulder blade down. Let's rotate and then reach back and around. Nice big stretch. Opening up that arm behind us. Good, and then back down. Lifting that arm straight up behind us. Open the bicep up towards the shoulder. Try to keep the torso as steady and as straight as possible. Bring that down across. And we'll do that again. Out across the body. Bringing it up. Rotate, so we're thinking that bicep is rotating down and around, back behind us as that arm stays straight. We're going to lift that arm straight up behind us and open that shoulder, open up the bicep, everything up towards the ceiling again. And then down and across. We're going to do the same on the other side. Left fist in a ball, bring that across our torso, bicep points out towards the outside, up towards our chin, our cheek. Keep that shoulder blade back and down, rotate that arm and reaching back behind us. Big circle. Try not move the torso at all. Back up behind with the straight arm, rotate the bicep up towards the ceiling, bring that hand up and then down and across. And one more time. Bringing that arm across the torso, rotate the bicep points out towards the outside. Bring that up towards the ear, rotate back in behind us, keeping that arm straight, making sure we're not twisting through the torso or anything like that. And then lifting back up behind us, open the bicep up towards the ceiling, reaching up, 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 up. Lovely. And then down and across. We're going to roll the shoulders a couple of times. And then we're going to go for some scap curls. So basically we're going to draw a box with our two shoulder blades. Arms can come out like this. You want to have them a little bit wider than your shoulders. Your arms are staying straight and we're imagining that those hands are on a ledge in front of us. We're going to bring the ears up towards our shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together, sliding it down, forward, up, and then reversing it. So down, squeeze the bottom of the shoulder blades together, bring that up towards the ears, forward, down, and let's reverse it. So keep those hands up. So you can see my hands are trying to drop there a little bit. Try and compensate. Let's slide the shoulder blades down and then forward and up. Let's reverse it. Down at the front, Squeeze the bottom of the shoulder blades together. Again, you can see my right trap there is wanting to kick in a little bit more. So I've got to keep those shoulder blades nice and down and on the rib cage. One more, let's go up towards the ears. Squeeze the top of those shoulder blades together. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Let's slide them forward and then up at the front, down at the front. We're reversing it last time. Squeeze the bottom of those shoulder blades together. Now slide up towards the ears and then slide forward and relax there. We're going to go for some wrist rolls. So rolling the wrists and then come back the other way. And again, trying to keep the forearms straight, so it's just the wrists that are moving. And then let's go back the other way. Perfect. We're going to bring the back of the hands together and just drop those elbows down towards the mat. This is the wrist relief position. And we're going to be doing this after we just go for our wrist warm up now, which we'll be doing in a second. What we're going to do with our wrists, they're called pails and rails, or push and pulls. We're basically going to bring our wrists to their end range, and then we're going to isometrically, which basically means hold, we're going to push against the surface, isometrically load it up in one direction, and then try and pull it away from the surface, isometrically loading it in the other direction, and that basically helps us get strong around that joint and in that range so that we can control it better. So how we do that? You can stay kneeling, you can also elevate your wrists up onto a surface if you need to. Hands are flat like this. We're spreading those fingertips apart, leaning forward to whatever is comfortable for us, as long as we can make sure that we're keeping the arms straight and the heels of the hands flat on the ground. We're spreading those fingertips, spreading the thumbs. We're going to hold here for a second or two, just trying to let our body relax into this stretch. Again, if you're doing it at home, ideally you're holding this for up to 2 minutes. Just for the sake of the class, we're going to be holding it for about a minute, and then we're going to start doing some push and pulls. The push and pulls will be fairly intense on the forearm. Again, we don't want to feel pinching. We want to feel those forearm muscles activate quite strongly. If that feels quite comfortable, what you can do is just move your knees slightly forward so you're a little bit more supported. Engage the core a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to push those fingertips down. So it's almost like I'm trying to indent my fingertips and indent the balls of my fingers down into the mat. So I'm pushing down about kind of 50-60%. It's pretty intense. I can feel those muscles at the back of my wrists kicking in. And now what I'm going to do without moving my torso is I'm going to dig the heel of my hand down and I'm trying to pull those fingertips up towards my forearms. You can maybe see the muscles at the front of my forearms kicking in. I want to make sure I don't bend my elbows. We don't want to compensate everywhere. I'm pulling up and pulling up and pulling up. If you feel like you lifted those fingers at all, let's lean forward again a little bit. That might not be the case for everyone, so just take it in whatever way is comfortable for you. Push down again. Let's try and push a little bit harder now this time. About 70-80%. This should be fairly tasty. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Try and keep those fingertips and thumbs as straight as possible. Again, it might be easier on one side than on the other. Keep pushing and hopefully be distracted. And now we're going to reverse it. So dig the heel down and let's try and pull those fingertips up towards our forearm. Pull, 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 pull. Keep those fingers splayed and straight. Again, I know it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but my forearms are absolutely on fire. Keep pulling them up, 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 all the way up. And then what we're going to do is just relax. So try and walk a little bit further and then just switch off the forearms, but we're staying in that stretch position just for about another 30 seconds or so. We're going to then try and lift the hands up, keeping this position, which is going to be hard. So this is a passive stretch right now. We're going to try and actively hold our fingers and palms in this position. Good. Got my eye on the timer, don't worry. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's lean back. So you can see straight away I'm losing that angle, but I'm going to try and lift and hold it as much as I can. Bring those hands out in front. Keep splaying those fingers. Keep pulling those fingertips back. Keep the arm straight. That's the tough bit. Let's reach up overhead. So imagine we're doing a handstand. So you can see there's a massive difference there between my left and my right. That is a very big reminder for me that I need to do a little bit more work on my right hand side. We're going to reach those hands out behind us into a T shape. Now, try and barrel the monkeys while keeping the hands in this position. This is going to be fairly fired up. As we bring out to the T, let's pull those hands back again. Come back up behind us. Super and back out. Lovely stuff. So again, when we're doing push-ups or any sort of arm work that we are maybe a mountain climber, anything like this, handstands for any of those of us who do handstands, we want to make sure our wrists are in that 90-degree position and able to actively stay in that position. Again, hopefully have talked through enough of this time to try and distract you from the absolute burn that should be going on in your forearms right now. And let's bring those hands back in, and we're going into that wrist relief stretch. Fantastic. What we're going to do is we're going to come into a quadruped position. So you can see why I've warmed up the wrists. We're going to be in a quadruped or in some sort of hand balance position for a lot of this flow. And we're going to do a little bit of spine warm up, a little bit of hip curls, and then we're going to get the hips warmed up. Have a pillow nearby if you need it, say for a lizard pose, or if you want to have a pillow under your back knee. If you have any props as well, please feel free to use that. Let's release that, give the wrists a bit of a shake, and then we're coming into our quadruped position. So hands and underneath the shoulders, knees and underneath the hips, our back is flat. What we're going to do is a segmental cat cow. So we're starting by tucking the tailbone under, lower section of that spine rounding, middle section of our spine rounding. I'm trying to isolate it, and the upper section of my spine rounding, and then tucking the chin. Let's reverse it. Tailbone's going to come back. Tip, 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 tip. Belly button's going to come down. Chest is going to come down. And then I'm scooping that chin up. Let's do the same again. Tuck the tailbone under. Lift up through that belly button. Round through the mid back. Round through the upper back. Let the chin come down towards the chest. Elongate the back of the neck. And reverse it. Tailbone tips up. Trying to create that S shape with my spine. Rib cage comes down. Scoops forward. Chest comes up and forward. Tuck under. Tuck, 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 tuck. Again, this should be nice and active, nice and active, nice and active. Keep pulling up, 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 up. Lovely. And then reverse it last time. Tailbone goes up. You can see I'm working. Everything is kicking in. My rib cage comes down. I'm squeezing those muscles in my lower back and back, lifting that chin up, chest up. And then let's relax. Try if you can, stay in this quadruped positions with the hands flat and the fingers splayed. Sliding forward as well. If your wrists are getting quite fatigued, you can just go up onto your knuckles like this, give them a bit of a rest. We're just trying to train the hands in this position here. So hip curl, lifting one knee up off the ground, keep the back really flat. So we should feel like that tummy stays engaged the whole time. I lift that leg out to the side, and I'm going to reach that knee up towards the ceiling, and then bring it around without opening the hip up too much, so the hip stays nice and steady. The knee is going to go up towards my elbow and my forearm, and I'm bringing that back around. Knee up, let's lift up and out to the side and fire hydrant. My knee goes down, my ankle goes up, and I'm lifting back and around and squeezing my glute and hamstring here in a donkey kick position. And let's come down. We're going to do that one more time. Kick the heel up towards the ceiling. Lift that leg out towards the side. Good. Rotate knee up towards the ceiling. Try not to open the hip up. So we don't want to open the pelvis out to the side. Keeping that belly button pointing down towards the ground. The knee comes in underneath. And let's come back. Rotate, or reverse it, I should say. Knee goes up towards the forearm and elbow. Lifts up and out to the side. Knee goes down. Ankle goes up. Let's reach back and around. Fantastic. Squeeze glute and hamstring. Should be fairly active on the back of the leg. And then let's come down onto the other side. I'm just going to turn around so you can see what's going on. We're here again. Very slight forward lean. Let's try and train up those wrists, whatever that is comfortable for us. Let's kick that leg up, back behind us. Bring that leg out to the side. Rotate. Knee goes up and out. Again, I'm fire hydrant in here, so I'm not opening that leg out or hip out. If you want bonus work for the ankle, keep the foot flexed throughout this. Train the foot to stay in this position rather than the passive plantar flexion position. So this is dorsiflexion, keeping the toes pulling towards the shin. So very similar to what we were just doing with our wrists. Again, you can hear from my voice, there's a fair bit of tension going through my body, and that is how I'm going to train those muscles around my hip. The knee comes back up towards the forearm, lifts up and out to the side. Ooh, knee down, ankle up. See a little bit of compensation there through my pelvis. I'm trying to keep that tummy engaged the whole time. Bring that knee down. Fantastic. What we're going to do, I'm going to turn around so that we're all together. We're going to go into the down dog. Let's push the hips up high. Heels are going to be flat down on the ground, and I'm going to pedal one foot Getting a nice big stretch at the back of my calves, back of my hamstrings. Fantastic work. What we're going to do is we're going to lift the left leg now in a second, and we're going to come forward into a lizard pose. So if I can, my right heel drops down towards the ground. I'm going to lift that left leg up into a bit of a donkey kick position, flex that foot, and then let's come forward using the hip flexor, try and step that leg straight out the left hand side, left foot outside the left hand. Let's drop down here. Again, you can stay up on the wrists. If you're feeling quite flexible, you can come down onto the elbows. Just see how you're feeling. But what we want to do in whatever position we're in is just try and open the knee up and out to the side. So we're going to try and rotate slightly. So opening that knee out to the side, you can see that that hip is moving and opening up like this. So again, if you're upright, you should have more range than if you're down to the ground, and that is because the hip is in a slightly more open position. You can always do this elevated as well with your hands up on top of a chair, or you can just stay in a normal lizard position if this is quite deep or intense in the hips. What we're going to do now is come back into a neutral. The hand's going to be flat on the ground, and we're going to sink the hips back to get a stretch through this hamstring. And then let's come forward and back. And then forward and back. What I would recommend is that you get that pillow nearby, and we're going to have it to be able to sit on when we come into a bit of a hamstring stretch. We're going to do one more. Let's come back now. Bring that pillow onto the back of your right heel and let's sit down. For some of us, this is going to be enough of a stretch, and we're going to straight stay here. For those who want to strengthen up the hamstrings as well as the hip flex a bit more, this is going to be fairly intense. If you want to sit upright, that's going to, I guess, increase our range. If you want to go a little bit deeper into it, that's going to be a lot harder. Bend the knee so that we're being mindful of the back of the knee. I want you to try and dig that heel down. So you can see that I'm kind of bunching up my mat there a little bit. That is kicking in my hamstring. This is going to be fairly active. You're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg, push the fingertips into the ground. Let's try and lift that leg up off the mat. Again, might not move for some of us, but hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that heel down. Bend the knee slightly. Scoop that heel in towards the pillow, as if we're trying to scoop it in towards our glute. Kick that hamstring in, kick that hamstring in, kick that hamstring in. Fantastic. Straighten the leg, legs lift up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Take that hamstring in. Pull, 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 pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Try and lift that leg straight, straight, straight. Hamstring should be getting a decent stretch. Hip flexor should be on absolute fire here. Fantastic. And then let's release and come forward. You're going to bring that pillow, if you need it, in underneath that right knee now. Let's kick the hamstring in on this side. Take the left hand behind us to take hold of that right foot. And then I'm looking over that left shoulder, getting a bit of a corkscrew quad stretch here. And trying to drop through that front hip. Lovely. We're going to release that. Just move the pillow out to the side, have it nearby, hand comes back to the mat. Let's push back down into that downward dog. Pedal the feet. Fantastic. Get that nice stretch through the hamstrings. Super stuff. Plant that left foot now. Nice deep stretch on that left calf. Let's lift that right leg up into a bit of a donkey kick on that right side. Engage the core, engage the hip flexor. Come forward and try and step that right foot outside the right hand. Let's drop that left knee down and we're into lizard. So again, you can have those elbows down on the mat or be upright. If you want to have a pillow underneath the elbows as well, that's totally fine. And then let's open and close that knee out to the side. I'm trying to keep this big toe and my heel down on the ground. And I'm just using my glute to open that knee out to the side and then hip flexor to bring it back in. Glute, hip flexor, glute, hip flexor. And again, depending on how that is feeling on the hip, you can be in an upright position as well. It's going to be different for different people and different for us on different days as well. Fantastic. A few more reps on this. And then what we're going to do is just make sure that the foot is nice and close to your left hand. Have the left hand outside and we're just rocking back And then rocking forward. Again, if you need a pillow under that back knee, please use it. Rock forward and rock back. Rock forward and rock back. Just gently getting that deep stretch on the back of the hamstring. Fantastic. Lovely. Super stuff. And then on this last one, let's bring that pillow to the back of our left heel, flatten that left foot, and then we're rocking back, sinking that hip down onto the pillow. Now, let's get that bend in that left knee. I'm digging, or sorry, my right knee, I should say. I'm digging that right ankle down into that mat. You can see it bunching up here. I'm kicking it in nice and strong. 3, 2, 1. I'm straightening. I'm going to try and lift. Again, this hip flexor for me is that little bit weaker. So I'm going to try and hold maybe for a second or two more, but you guys just go for 5 seconds. You're going to drop that heel down now. And then let's bring the heel down if you're doing a bit longer like me. Dig that heel down. Really try and get that mild muscle connection at the back of the hamstring. So you want to have that knee bent so it's not overextending the knee. Again, some of us might be hypermobile. Let's straighten that leg and try and lift up. Oh boy, tasty. Lift, 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 lift. Keep lifting, keep lifting. Feel the quad kick in. Last time, dig that heel down. And let's really feel that in the back of the hamstring. Good. Keep pulling that heel towards the glute as if you're trying to indent the heel into the ground. Okay, let's straighten the leg. Let's lift up. Keep holding. Keep holding. Super stuff. Really, really good, guys. Oh, this is intense. And then let's drop down and come forward. Pillow, you can come under that back knee. And then let's reach that right hand behind. Take a hold of our left foot. And just get a deep stretch through that quad. Lovely, guys. So getting that bit of a stretch again. You can drop that hip down if you want to go a little bit deeper into that quad stretch as well. Nice. We're going to release that. And then what we're going to do is step back, move the pillow. We're going to come into a bear position. So bear is a tabletop or quadruped, which is with our knees off the ground. So the hands are in underneath the shoulders, the fingers are spread, my knees are in underneath my belly button, so in front of my hip, and I'm curling my back toes under. We're going to lift up. And then if we can, try and walk those hands out, keeping the knees low the whole time. It's going to be fairly intense. Keep walking, go a little bit further. If you can, to the top of the mat, you can straighten those legs now. And now let's inchworm. Try and step those feet up towards our hands, kicking in the core. Keep looking back now towards your toes, and we're going to try and walk those feet in as close as we can to our hands and just slightly rock forward and then rock back. This is why we warmed up the wrists. Slight rock forward and then lean back. Slight rock forward, load up, push those hands into the mat. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock back onto those heels. And then let's come into a ragdoll position. Taking elbows in each hand, just folding forward, letting those elbows just pull down towards the toes, just melt into the ground. Super stuff. Lovely, guys. What we're going to do, bring the hands back to the mat, toe heel the toes and heels in towards each other. Let's bend the knees. You can just come into a regular chair pose. You can have the hands out for a little bit of counterbalance, or if you want to go into a bit of a twist, hands in towards the chest, elbow outside the knee. So that's my right elbow outside my left knee, and I'm just looking up towards the ceiling here, pushing my thighs together, nice and strong. Coming back in towards the center and onto the other side. Hook that left elbow and push. Look up towards the ceiling, nice and strong. Push those inner thighs together. Lovely. We're going to come back down and we're going to reverse it. So let's spread the fingertips. Again, you can have the knees bent if you need to. Just make sure that your hands are flat on the ground. You can walk those hands a little bit further forward as well. Spread the fingertips, rock forward, look back towards your toes. Now lift one foot up off the ground. Trying to get the shoulders stacked over the wrists. So let's change over onto the side. Rock, push, tie on the ball of the foot. Change, other leg, back to that first leg, rock forward, tucking that knee in towards the chest. Down, change over onto the other side. Oh, this is nice and fiery. Let's come down. We're going to inchworm with those hands back, going back the way we came. Feet walking back, 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 trying to go the full length of that mat. This might not be possible for all of us, that's okay. Let's walk those hands back in. Start bending those knees, and we're back into our bear position. Now, try and keep those knees hovering off the ground, shoulder taps. Good. Nice and intense. Tap, tap, tap. Fantastic. Tap. 2 more on each side. 1 more on each side. And then let's take a rest there. Bring the toes together, knees out to the side of the mat. Let's sink the forehead down onto the mat. Soft belly. Take that breath in. Lovely. So we're thinking about expanding the rib cage as we breathe in. What we're going to do is we're going to walk those hands back up. Let's bring the knees together. And what we're going to do is a camel. So a couple of different options here. Hands can just be inside the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and just open that chest up towards the ceiling. This can be enough for you if you want. If that's too much, sorry, what I should say is you're here in a modified camel, leaning back like that. If that felt quite comfortable, you're reaching those hands down towards the ankle, squeezing the shoulder blades together and lifting the chest up, opening the hips, opening the front of the shoulders, getting that nice big stretch. We're going to hold. Keep squeezing the glutes, keep squeezing the shoulders. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Really good, everyone. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's slowly come out of that with control. Hands are going to go on either side of our knees. Bring those knees together. We're going to rock back onto the foot flat. And I'm lifting those knees up towards my chest, getting a nice deep stretch in front of my shins. Super work. Try and keep holding if we can. Lovely. Getting that heart rate slowing down a little bit. And then release. We're going to come into a bit of a seated forward fold now. So again, if you're only on that pillow, just for a bit of extra support you can. And what we're going to do, let's straighten that right leg out in front of us. 2 options. Have the left foot in towards the right thigh, or if you want to go a little bit deeper into a quad stretch, rolling that left half out, having that left knee bent. Both hips are on the ground here. So again, this is fairly intense on the quad and on the knee, so it's not good on the knee. Go for the other option. Reach the hands up towards the ceiling, and then let's fold forward. Getting a nice deep stretch into the back of the calf, into the back of the hamstring. Really, really good. Just try and relax here. Let the head drop down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to bring that right elbow inside our right thigh and look under that left arm. If you can't take hold of your feet, you're just trying to reach like this. So again, it's going to be different for different people. We're just trying to get a nice deep stretch through that side. Now you can feel in the back of the shoulders a little bit by pushing that right elbow into the thigh a little bit more. Breathe in. You can see my stomach rising here. And then we're breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out one more time. And then breathing out. Thigh nice and straight. Torso. As I walk back over. And we're going to change our one to the other side. So again, you can have that right foot in towards the left thigh, or you can have the right leg out to the side, knee bent, just roll back half out. Make sure the hips are both square and sitting on the mat or on the pillow. You're going to reach up, breath in, and then fold forward, trying to take hold of our calf, our foot, whatever we can take hold of. Again, if those hands are down on either side of the mat, that is totally fine. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. We're going to do that one more time. And then let's rotate. Let's bring the left arm and elbow in towards that left thigh. And I'm trying to look up and under my right armpit. Again, if I can't reach my foot, I'm just trying to reach the right fingertips towards my left toe. Take one more deep inhale. And then exhale. We're going to walk back and come to lie onto our mat. Let's drop the hips flat on the ground. Lower yourself down with control. You can keep the head on the pillow if you want. Straighten your left leg. We're going to hug that right knee in towards our chest. And then let's just drop out to the side, getting a nice opening. And a nice twist. So I'm opening up the right chest, bicep, and shoulder. You might feel a nice stretch into the right glute. Maybe just a gentle stretch into my right lower back. I'm going to release that. Breath in. And then breath out, coming back in towards the center. We're going to change over onto the other side. So straighten that right leg. Hold that left knee in towards the chest. Right hand on the outside of the left knee. Drop that left knee out towards the right. And then reaching that left arm out towards the left hand side. And I can look over at my left thumb if that feels a little bit better. Just breathing in. And breathing out. Lovely. Taking a deep inhale. And then exhale. Let's bring that leg back in towards the center. You can just give yourself a bit of a hug, both knees in towards the chest. And then we're just going to roll over, reaching the hand up overhead. Just gently push yourself back up. And guys, we are done for our strong flow for today. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next week.